what the traditional system are doing is they're educating the kids to become like a good employees. They become a good workers. After they graduated, they still cannot find a job. After they graduated, they still don't know what to do. Their skills, their knowledge got wiped out by the AI.
Barry is the founder of OMNIAPATH. It's an AI native entrepreneurship school for young founders, and he's also an advisor to Hacker Dojo's first accelerator cohort.
No school or no institution have a really legit program teach about entrepreneurship. Everyone needs to have the entrepreneurship mindset in the future. I was like, I have to do something to let everyone understand how to use AI to start a business. So the wealth is something like you have a time, you are happy, you have money, you have good like friendship with your peers. You have really good relationship with your parents. So we want each of students, each of our alumni to be wealthy instead of like rich.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of 18VC Podcast. I am Lucas.
And I am Philip.
Barry's actually been building since high school, starting from a dark market reselling instant noodles, 100x college admission consultancy services, and our school that teaches young teenagers to start real companies. His thesis for the AI is blunt and a little bit uncomfortable, but you'll see what I mean when you watch the full episode.
Yeah, for those who are unfamiliar with us, we are the 18VC Podcast, a student-run podcast featuring student founders and young founders, and also investors who are interested in backing this youngest and smartest minds. We aim to become the first discover layer. We find the most high potential founders, and we help them all the way, and we record and document their journey to legendary.
Fellas, buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Barry, so to start with it, do you want to say hi and do a little bit of a self-introduction to our audience?
Oh, sure, yeah. Hi guys, it's my honor to join the Lucas and Philip's the podcast 18VC, and I hope the best for the 18VC in the future. So guys, my name's Barry, and I graduated from University of Michigan. I have a degree in two like a business major. One is a business, another is sports management. Sports has always been my passion, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later on. So basically, I've started two ventures. So my first company, like a real company, registered like a C Corp company, was back to my freshman year. I started my first like educational consulting company. Then I slowly to pivot more like youth VC style right now. And the second company I started was back to my college senior year. And I got like one of the VC backup in Santa Clara. So that's one of the reasons I moved from Michigan to California.
Well, that's great. Let's rewind time a little bit, and why don't you take us back a little bit into your childhood period, right? Imagine now you're seeing the younger self. How would you describe the younger Barry?
Oh wow, that's a really good question. So think about like a younger self. I'll be actually really proud of like my younger version of myself, because like basically when I was around like elementary school or the middle school, I have a extremely like a free will compared to my peers. I always think like outside the box because of like the traditional Chinese education. Sometimes it is not that good to think outside the box. But I always challenge the teacher, the parents, the peers about their perspective. Whatever I think is good, and they have a different opinion, even if that's teacher, even if that's the principal of the school, I still gonna challenge them. So because of the whole system-wise, I think I do face a lot of like difficulties back to like childhood. I still remember like I had a couple of conflicts with my teachers, with my peers, because my unique like opinions. Even if everyone has a different opinions, and they say like, okay, you're gonna follow the certain rules inside schools.
Right.
I just don't care.
Right.
I just didn't care that much, and I just follow whatever I think is right. But after I grew like a little bit like older, come to high school, I understand more about the world. I understand about the boundaries. Here are some boundaries I can cross, and here are the boundaries I cannot cross. For example, the legal things and the rules from the certain states, certain countries. I have a lot of better understanding about that.
Yeah.
So, okay, come back to the question. I think when I think of when I look like a younger self,
Right.
younger Barry, like a 12, 13 years old,
Right.
I would say just keep doing what you're doing right now. Just don't change.
And I mean, actually, echoing back to your question, to your sharing about your entrepreneurial spirit, I think you're still carrying that forward up until this point, right?
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
What is something about you that has maybe changed a lot? So that's something about you that has not changed, right? That will to always challenge. But what is something about you that has actually changed a lot since you were a child?
Oh, I think it changed so much. I think the most important things I think I changed was like the stability and like flexibility, and I was pretty stubborn to certain point of views. But once I understand more about the world, I understand there's a different way for different people and different things. So the flexibility was pretty high for now. And why I say like stability is like before it's very hard for me to stay in one things or one location or stick with one friend because there's too many thinking in my mind.
Right.
So it's very hard for me to get distracted and defocus from the priorities. But now it's very easy for me to really focus on a couple of priorities and not like trying to defocus from what's the most important things. Yeah.
And sort of were you basically forced to develop that kind of skill sets, or how did you train to get
No,
those?
I think it's what like the market taught me. The market, entrepreneurship experience, and just the people on the road. And there's a lot of things because myself have very strong my personal view of points.
Yes.
So it's very easy for me to get a conflict with other certain things and the people at the beginning. So that really helped me to learn so much about the world and how to adapt to the world.
I think one thing about being an entrepreneur is to make the right decision when you need to pivot.
Absolutely.
And you need to be adaptive if something didn't work out. I think.
Yes. So I think before, when I do something, I was like, I have to do this thing
Right.
really good, extremely good before I pivot to other things. But now it's like with my gut feeling, I know like what's the point to pivot.
Right.
Yeah. To like not pivot, like more like iterate from beginning. Yeah.
Right. So my next question: people say environment, especially environment back in childhood, can significantly shape who you are in the future, right? Could you tell us a little bit more about the environment where you were brought up?
Yeah, 100%. I think so. Basically, for my elementary school and my middle school, I went to a traditional Chinese school, and for my high school, I went to a British high school, international British high school. But in the period, I also traveled to Australia for my 6th grade. For one semester, 6th grade. I think that helps me a lot. That's an education part. From like a family side, I think I have really like diverse family. So my family, they are from different cities or provinces in China. So I think it's really helped me to understand a lot about like the cultures. From my parents, I think it's just super important with my parents' education. I think just family education is everything. It's the best education in the world. My mom is a like psychological therapist. Yeah. So I think family education is the most important and efficient education than any other educations. And my parents, my mom, she's a like psychological therapist for 21, 22 years. My dad, he's just like C-suite in a company who went to IPO last decade. But I think their education shaped the way I'm working. I think 90% of their education really shaped the way I'm working right now, because my mom has a really different view of my education. When I was like in elementary school, everyone was really hard to like grind on these subjects like Chinese, English, math, whatever. But my mom didn't force me to do anything. He just wanted me to do whatever I want to do. So at that time, what I want to do the most is play video game and just hang around, just running, play soccer, play basketball, just do anything but not study. And teacher worry a lot about me, and relatives worry a lot about me, and even peers' parents worry so much about myself.
But not your mom.
but not my parents. They started to getting worried when I went to middle school, but for elementary school they didn't. Here's something really interesting. Was like I never studied English, math, and Chinese for I think for 5 or 6 years. That's the main 3 subjects in
Where'd you
China.
spend your time that others are studying those?
I don't think I can focus on the class. I really don't think I can focus on the class. I don't think I can focus for a long time to study. But here was something really interesting. Was like my English was something like 20% of like 100. I got like 20 out of 100. My Chinese was like 50 out of 100. But my math, if I study a little bit, I got 100 out of 100 for my math. So that was something really interesting. Was like I always got like top grade for math, but I just didn't study math too. I studied a little bit. Here's something I got like a pivot. Was like for the middle school, my second year of my middle school, I start to pick up a little bit more about like the hard educational like subjects, science, like everything. For my middle school, I realized, all my peers are doing so good, and here was like ranking stuff in China. We have 1,000 students in back to my middle school, and I was ranking was like 900 out of 1,000, and my parents started to getting really worried about me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, at that time, after my sophomore year of my middle school, I really started to pick up study. I studied super hard for half a year. I started to rank from 900 to 300. So I have a huge jump after 6 months. Then I realized something. Those students, they study so hard for 10 years. I only studied for 6 months. I can have the huge leap. Then I start to think, why? Why is like this? I realized as long as someone are really locking, really want something, and really put the effort to it, like 100% put effort to it, you can get it. Especially in like study, like academia, if you put your heart to it, you will get a better grade. You don't have it's not like entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, you put everything into it. It's not nothing guaranteed. You put your heart to it, and you probably fail 99% out of like 99% of the time. Right. So basically, that was the time I started to pick. I started to pick up the academia. I think one of the things was like my parents didn't really let me to study. I have a lot of room in my brain.
Right.
And my brain cell developed really good because I constantly like planning, running outside. So I have a lot of free will inside of me. Once I have so many defocuses. Once I put everything into one thing, I can do it really good.
Got it.
And inside the whole middle school, those like 1 year to prepare for my Chinese external exam. My parents did give me so much help. So they support me anyway. Whatever I want to do, they still support me doing this. So I mean, basically, what I learned from my like youth, like teenagers, was like parents love me, parents support me whatever I do. They care so much about me, about my will, but they do care a lot about like the boundaries. I need to be like integrity, and I need to follow the rules, follow the legal things. That's the only thing they care. But other than that, they just let me do whatever, explore whatever I'm happy to do. So basically, my mom always have this like analogy, was like every child is like a tree. So the tree is growing. They have a different type of tree because they are different type of seed.
Right.
What the family and the parents do, they're cutting off those like the trees going to like a widespread to make sure the tree going like tall and high. So that was like my mom's analogy for me for many years. I think that's my parents' education really shaped me in any ways.
Yeah, that's huge. I think my mom said something similar. Probably yours too. But speaking of entrepreneurship, you've been through 5 entrepreneurial attempts so far, and turned actually more than half of them into actual companies generating actual revenues, right? And the first one, if I remember correctly, you were kind of doing like a dark market business back in your junior high school, selling drink and snacks to hungry students in the campus because they're starving and there's no resource in food there. Tell us about the first thought that went through your mind when you realized that problem.
Yeah, I realized the problem was super easy. I was like, not junior, freshman, high school freshman. I just got to my new like international British high school. I saw those senior kids, and they were extremely hungry after playing the football and soccer and basketball. We had like every night they come back to the student dorm. Was like they're extremely hungry, and our school they didn't allow to have those like deliveries, and the deliveries wasn't that efficient as currently what we have right now, and there's no way for them to get a food. They just constantly say they're hungry.
Yeah.
So I just heard the demand, and I also study the economics, supply and demand, right? If they have some demand, I need to apply. I just to get supply to get the money, and then I learned a lot. It's like they have a demand. Someone need to give them supply. So basically, I bought everything from Alibaba every Friday. So we have enough supply for them on every Monday. So every Monday they come back to the dorm. I have so much supply, instant noodles, sausage, like everything. So I think the margin was super high. Margin was like 200%.
Man, credit
200%
business.
Because people are hungry. They wouldn't pay anything. Also, we were in like the elite British private school. So those kids has money too. So basically, I have the food here, and like for example, the instant noodle, the price I bought was like $1, or like 0.7 bucks, and what I saw was like $3, $4. They're gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I realized, as long as people really want something, you can mark up the price as high as you want.
Absolutely.
As long as they want it, right? So I think I made approximately like 1,000 per week.
Wow.
That was a lot as a high school.
That's huge.
That's huge as a high school student. I keep doing this for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Then like the school principal and
it got shut down, right?
Yeah, I got shut down. It was like too big. You just have to shut it down. And they do start their own like dining hall after they saw me doing this.
Yeah, and you mentioned they also started their own vending machines.
Yeah, they also have. They also. I think they also got their like two or three new like the brand new vending machines just to feed the student. They also mark extremely expensive in the vending machine. I remember like the drink is also like 2 or 3 times like than the normal price.
But still, at least you play an important role in helping the school realize there's that problem and adopting some changes, right?
Yeah, because like I think our schools have a lot of free will too. They didn't give me any like punishment or anything. They just said, please don't do it. It's too big.
But I'm more curious, like, were you frustrated by how your first entrepreneurial attempt, went? Were you frustrated by how it ended, basically?
How it ended?
Yeah, how it ended. Like it just got shut down. You couldn't make any more money, right?
100%. I 100% feel like a little bit frustrated, but I think it's fine because I just want to try anyway. I think a little bit. Just I mean, because I think back to the like family education, people need to be like integrity and need to follow the rules. Basically, if they say so, I agree with it, and I'm not gonna open it again. So I think that's the way I'm doing the business right now. If I promise something, I'll do it. If I didn't promise, I'm not gonna do it.
Right. And another question about your entrepreneurial attempts. I think all of your entrepreneurial attempts have student populations, right, as the center of target audience. Whether it's from your underground business to like soccer coach, to like transfer consultation to OMNIAPATH, and even to like to Web3, right? Yeah. Why do you want to stick with this population particularly?
Oh, that's actually a really good observation. I didn't really think about that deep now. Yes, so why I'm sticking with like students, I think I deeply care about education. I deeply care about students. That's the first thing. That's my passion, and that's what I've been doing for 10 years. Another thing is because I just graduated, and those students, all my peers, I just start with my peers. It's just easier for me to get started. I think that's a really good question. And also, I think because I started entrepreneurship like since like very young age, the target audiences I can really reach is a students group. It's very hard for like 18 years old kids to sell things to 40 years old kids. for 40 years old adults. But it's very easy for me to convince my peers, my friends, you want to buy this, you want to try this, I've been working on this, right? If you trust me, just please come, right? I think one of the things, like I was a soccer captain, back to high school soccer captain in Michigan, club soccer too.
You have a lot of leverage.
Yeah, I have a lot of leverage. People trust me, trust my title, trust my leadership. I was like, do you want to try this? If they like it, and why not?
Yeah, you already know how to commercialize your influence at the point at a young age.
I think just easier for me to get it started. But right now, our client right now is like parents and the adults, and it's very diversified right now.
Yeah, and I think we can move on a little bit to OMNIAPATH path, which you are building the business. And I do remember you started that as actually a university admission consulting service, and later you kind of pivoted to a entrepreneurial education. Can you tell us a little bit why, what was the original story, and how did you decide to make the pivot?
Yeah, so at the beginning, that was like first legit business, LLC and C Corp. That's the first time. That was the first time I understand about the business. I really started the company, and we have very elite package with the students who want to transfer or who want to apply for the US college. So basically, I hire some ex-admission officers from Dartmouth, Columbia, and they join my group, and we started to become a team. We provide very tailored services for each students. So we have a premium package. Our premium package was like 20 to 30,000 per student. So at the peak years, we had like 25 to 30 students. That was really the first bootstrap fund I got myself. I didn't have any VC backup, just myself doing this. That was like, I think the profit-wise, that was like my first 100K put in my pocket after 3 years grinding on the services. So after 3 years, move on to my junior years. That was the first time I started to think about pivoting from different services, because first was like the whole technology, the whole AI era started to showing up, emerging. Was first time I used a ChatGPT 3.5 or ChatGPT 3. That was really shocking. I just shocked. I was studying a CS class back to Michigan. That was the first time I studied Python. I used the code. It took me a lot of time to learn at first. Then I used the ChatGPT 3.5. Also, that's crazy.
Instant.
Instant. They can do anything. And I also put my students' essay and student portfolio. I fit it to ChatGPT 3.5. I was like, what? They can do anything the human can do. That's gonna be the future. I was like, okay, I have to pivot. That was the first reason for me to think about pivoting. Also, that was first pivoting ever in my business, because before the business was start and make some money, something happened, and this was I made some decent money, something happened. Not thinking to end it, but use what I have the resources to iterate on to the second level. So for as I keep moving on, I think another big things happened was my students, I helped them to transfer to really good schools, Ivy League schools. After they graduated, they still cannot find a job. After they graduated, they still don't know what to do. Some of them are a little bit depressed because their skills, their knowledge got wiped out by the AI. They didn't actively adopt for the AI. He or she didn't be AI native person. So he or she just got wiped out by the market. That's what happened right now too. If you are not AI native founder, you're gonna be wiped out for sure. I pretty much guarantee you're gonna be wiped out. If you do not use AI, you're gonna be wiped out.
Feel it already.
And that was a second event. And then the third event was something I decided to really close my current my first consulting business. Was my ex-admission officer friends. They couldn't find a job too. Because AI. Because their work were basically help students to tailor the essays, right? Tailor essays, help them to do their portfolio and build the portfolio and to the application. They are forced to pivot to other things. Some of them can pivot, some of them cannot. I was like, I have to do something to let everyone understand how to use AI to start a business. Everyone has the ability, should have the opportunity to use AI to really to be very creative about what you are thinking to become a real like a business, to find like a product market fit and eventually go to market and raise a fund, or you bootstrap the things. I think it's very easy with the Claude and with the Gemini, with the ChatGPT right now. If you want to build a software, that's extremely easy. And I'm not a technical founder. I don't have like strong like CS background, but it's just super easy for me to create like 20 applications in Claude in one afternoon, right? If I don't understand about how to use the AI, if I have like a creative thinking, like design thinking about what you are thinking, and eventually make your thinking to a real product or services, right? So that was the way I started to pivot. I was like, because the three major events happened, I started to pivot to something like, I want to help everyone understand about entrepreneurship, because I think solo practitioner, solo founders, solo like part-time contractors, whatever, gonna be the future. Everyone will have their own small business. Solo founder will be the small business. So
Definitely.
we call it OPC, right? One person company. Yeah, one person company gonna become reality very, very soon. I mean, as a solo or one person, you can be 1 or 2 or 1 or 3, but you're it's gonna be smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
I think this big tech corporate gonna survive for sure, but like for like normal like humans, they gonna have more and more
Absolutely.
and more solo practitioners, solo founders.
Yeah.
So that was my vision for the future. And I tried a lot about different age groups and different like ICPs. I tried adults. I tried adults who has the money, want to do something. I tried the adults who does not have the capital but get laid off from the big corporates. I also tried to teach the young kids, young entrepreneurs. I realized I think the higher successful rate is the younger students. The younger they are, it's easier for them to pick up entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship means you need to think everything. You need to think outside the box. You need to really understand about the risk, and you be willing to de-risk what is happening, and eventually take some risks, and for you to keep going, right? Once you Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, is it because the younger children are like less conservative and less risk averse, and also they're more coachable? I think it's
yes, because like younger kids, they never be shaped by the toxic corporation environment. They didn't have anything really like control them now.
Yeah.
But once you really step into big companies, or once you actually go to like the real society stuff, you understand how harsh the world is, and how difficult it is, and people get scared. People get afraid of trying things. For like adults, it's just like getting harder and harder to really step out of the comfort zone. But for younger kids, it's like something they think, oh, that's not good. They will iterate in 2 seconds.
very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, very fast. But like for adults, if something they think, oh, this thing is not good, let me try it again. And they try a couple of times and they fail, and stop trying. Okay, think about this. So myself, I really started to think about business when I was 17 or 16 years old. The chance I can fail was like, each business is 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
The chance I can fail was like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
After 3 or 4 times, I'm 24, 25. But if the adults start a business at 35 years old, and they have a family, they have a kids,
you're gonna,
they have a wife or husbands, they have elderlies to
Take care of.
take care of, right? So basically, the chance for them to fail, if they're gonna fail 4 or 5 times after 35, 4 or 5 times, they're gonna be 50 years old. They don't have any chance to really give them much time to adapt, to iterate on it, right? And they need to think of too many things. Because for me, I started a business. I got to travel to Singapore. I'm gonna travel to Singapore. If I have a wife and kids, I'm gonna travel to Singapore for 3 months. That's crazy. I cannot travel to Singapore for 3 months.
Definitely.
Right? So that's just what I learned throughout the whole experience of my entrepreneurship, I think the younger they understand about entrepreneurship mindsets, it's easier for them to become successful inside the entrepreneurship once they come after they graduate from college or not even graduate from high school, right? So that was like the real data I've been working on after 4 or 5 years doing OMNIAPATH.
Yeah, I think you are actually kicking in the real essence of education, because before AI comes, basically everybody was learning some skills that they can plug into a huge corporation, finish a certain task, but they don't actually lack the overall or well-rounded ability to do their own business or
now
start
they're
their own
being
venture.
distilled into skills that corporations could use, right?
I think there only be two type of person gonna survive in the future. So one person is super well-rounded. They can do anything with AI. It's like they do operation, do marketing, do sales, anything with AI. Whatever you need, that person can do it. But they don't go super deep to anything. But it's fine. They got certain deep to all the skills, super well-rounded. That's one person. I think the second type of person gonna survive is inside one niche, go fucking deep, so deep into one niche. Only that person has the expertise to understand about the niche. And even if people use AI or anything, they cannot go that deep. But that person knows everything about one industries, one niche industries.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be two types of person gonna survive or be successful in the future. But both of them need to understand about how to use AI. So that's kind of two person we're looking for right now. That's kind of two person we're educating for right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you are doing this business, this entrepreneurial education, because of the traditional universities or traditional education system wasn't catching up with the trend. They are lagging behind, and there's an opportunity for you to actually fill up the gap. And can you tell us a little bit more about how actually OMNIAPATH was teaching these students, and how do you fill up the gap?
Yeah. That's a really good question. So basically, I still think the traditional university have a lot of value. That's still my first point was I'm not saying university is finished. University
don't drop out.
I don't think I still think university has a lot of values because they provide the hub for students to socialize. They provide the hub for students to keep on the schedule to meet all the talents. It's basically the best talent pool inside the university, right? So why apply for YC? Because you want to apply another talented pool, right? So university have really, really huge value, still huge value. It's still, I think the degree have a certain value because that's the title, for your life, right? I'm still saying I'm a University of Michigan student. You guys are gonna say you're a USC student for life, yeah? So I'm still saying university have a lot of value for each students, but what we're providing is something extra. So basically, I designed the whole curriculums myself, the core pillars.
Yeah, tell us about
basically, we have 6 pillars of our whole curriculum. We have a different service and products, but always in the 6 pillars. So the first pillars is you need to have the entrepreneurship mindset. You need to understand how to sell, how to pitch. So for example, what I'm doing, I'm still pitching OMNIAPATH. I'm pitching OMNIAPATH 2,000, 3,000 times. Each time pitching was the first time pitching for the OMNIAPATH, for the even for Vol 3 and even for myself, right? I'm pretty sure if you guys are passionate about 18 VC, you guys gonna pitch 18 VC every single time, the first time you ever pitch about it. So the first pillar, how to pitch, how to sell yourself, how to sell your product. That's the most important things. You need to sell yourself. You need to let people understand about you, understand about what you are doing. Second pillar is finding the market gap. You need to find the problem inside the society, inside the world, and you provide a solution for that problem, right? That's the second pillar. The third pillar was what a student liked the most. It's a little bit liberal, but I like it a lot. It's we help students understand about the relationship between entrepreneurship and society responsibilities. So basically, you need to create something positive to the world. So the world can understand about your benefits you're providing to the world. So then your customer and the world will give the money back. Then you make a long-term money. You don't make short-term quick money. You make long-term money because you want to provide something good for the society and the world give it back to you. So that's our
You're already
pillar.
cultivating the sense of idea of creating or running or managing business for greater societal values in the minds of those next generations.
Yes. So I think that's something very important for them to know, have the entrepreneurship spirit. It's okay, have the founder spirit, you need to become like a conviction, you need to be aggressive, that's good too. But what I really want to emphasize, you need to have entrepreneurship spirits, entrepreneurship mindset, so you can do long-term thing, right? Think about like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or Jason Wang. Basically, they're doing one business for 30, 40 years. Right? Jason doing NVIDIA for 40 years, right? That's crazy. 50, they're gonna do 50, 60, 70 years. Well, think about like Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger. They do like Berkshire Hathaway for how many years? 80 years,
Half
right?
their life,
Most of their life. So they all play long-term game. None of them play short-term game. Short-term game gonna be wiped out because the market are changing all the time. If you're gonna always change and chase for those like a market change, you're gonna be wiped out. And the market gonna be changing faster and faster and faster. So what we really emphasized on the third pillar was like let the students, let the young kids to really understand about like responsibility to do long-term thing, to do good things for the society, to make society better, make the society happy, better, and then could be wealth. They could be more like they could be wealthier. So on the third pillar, we also emphasize something about the relationship between you and the money. So basically, here's two types of rich. So one is you have a lot of money, now you have a lot of like wealth. So what we teach them is about like you need to like gather your wealth. So the wealth is something like you have a time, you're happy, you have money, you have good like friendship with your peers. You have really good relationship with your parents. So we want each of students, each of our alumni to be wealthy instead of like rich, just rich. Rich is good, but like I would prefer them to be like more like wealthier, right?
Yeah, again, echoing back to your point of being a whole well-rounded person criteria, right?
Which is where the term omnia came from, right? It's an Latin word for everything.
Yeah. Everything with a path, right? It's a path to go with everything. But anyway, come back to the point. That's our third pillar. And our fourth pillar is become AI native. Become as AI native as possible. It's like your workflow and your AI agents. Even if as little as like your website, your applications, you have to build with AI. You cannot build by hand. I mean, you need to understand how to build by hand, but like you need to use AI to leverage those things, right? So we partner with like NVIDIA teachers, and those NVIDIA teachers will come to our in-person boot camp, use like DJ Spark, teach them how to use AI PC, we also teach them how to use open cloud, like those more like AI agent stuff. So basically help them to understand about like how to be AI native. So the fifth pillar is go to market. That's the thing I care the most, and I think that's one of the unfair advantage is really go to market and find a product market fit. So for the fifth pillar, they understand about like a market, and they want to be good entrepreneurs, and you understand about AI, and you know how to pitch, but you need to find the product market fit, right? So I think that's the most important thing you can make money. So for the fifth pillar is a product market fit. If you hit the product market fit, the money will come for sure. And then the sixth pillar is a little bit come back to the pitch, the first pillar. Sixth pillar and the first pillar is connected. So sixth pillar is help them to write the pitch deck, help them to get like a risk fund, right?
More
Basically
practical
like
stuff.
a business proposal and risk fund, like a pitch to the real investor. They come back to the pitch. So the sixth pillar is like a loop. It's a consistent loop. And so if you understand about the sixth pillar and you try this from 0 to 1 about one business, the first business, 99.99% you're gonna fail for the first business because you're too young. But if you understand about the entrepreneurship, you can keep doing that for the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. Eventually, you're gonna succeed.
And I do echo with what you are saying. Basically, you need to like being a founder is a training process, right? You need to practice to be a founder. You don't come up nowhere and just be a good founder at the first time. And I think there's a word call like the compounding effect of being a
Yeah.
founder.
That's the most important thing for like a compounding effect. It's like super important, like for the young kid to understand about it, because everything you do is assets, and you need to keep the good asset and keep compounding, like keep iterating, compounding from the asset. Eventually, you will hit like exponential growth. So entrepreneurship is like this, and eventually, skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's always non-linear at a certain point. And are you going to actually kind of being a I would say like incubator or angel kind of investor kind of role in this camp after they finish the program? Are you going to support these students, for example, if they have a good idea during the program, to provide additional support to help them make it to a real business afterwards?
Yeah, so basically that's what we are trying for next step. So I think OMNIAPATH 1.0 is really solid right now. So for OMNIAPATH 2.0 is what we'll be trying really hard. But I think, as I said, like I need to hit like my own PMF, product market fit. They're still students, and their priority is still like taking the exams. What we can do the most is like we can create currently doing like a long-term like one-on-one project, like an individual incubation. So basically, they have a really good idea. We have our own foundation. We're gonna invest on that, and we have a one-on-one coaching session with them. Yeah, so that's the OMNIAPATH 2.0. We're trying what we are building right now, but I'm still believe and a successful founder just it's extremely hard to really find like a successful founder at a really young age. So what we are doing right now is still we want to keep as educational. So just for them to understand about it. Eventually, after 2 or 3 years, they graduate from high school and a college. If they really have such good, like we have such good founder, it's very easy for us to just link the real VC to them.
Well, I don't want to intentionally roast you, Barry, but there have been critiques on so-called entrepreneurship program or bootcamps like this in China, where people are arguing that the owners of the bootcamp are purely just feeding on parents' anxiety or their overestimated expectation on their kids, right? They're worrying their kids might be jobless and unemployed going forward. What's your take on that?
I think that's a really good point, because we do like a lot of like competitor research, and we have a lot of like competitors doing something like that. But what we are trying to do is like we just want to do like the best pure educational program. If they think the money is worth it, and you can pay. If you don't think it's worth it, it's fine. And we really don't want to like leverage their anxiety and to make like the quick cash for them, because I also use my own like 6 period to start my own company, right? So basically, I really wish those parents see the real value of the founder me, and see the real value of the program, the real value of our the mentors, our mission and visions, and they think it's just a value exchange, right? It's impossible to provide such good services without paying anything. If they think that's worth it, just go ahead. If they don't think it's worth it, it's fine.
I was actually chatting with Philip the other day, and we're saying that there could be immense demand for things like what you're doing, like entrepreneurship education bootcamp, is because there's a lack of so-called experience-based learning layer in China, and what we mean maybe things like hackathons. Do you think that's valid, or?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. Like hackathon?
Like do you think there would be huge demand for things like entrepreneurship education in China? It's because of there's
in China
lack of,
or in the world?
Yeah, in China.
In China, 100%. In the world, yes too. There's because, as I said, it's like the world is about like solo founders in the future, and they just never no school or no institution have a really legit program teach about entrepreneurship, because it's really hard to teach. What the traditional system are doing is to help the basically help the kids. Basically, they're educating the kids to become like a good employees. They become a good workers. Because once you become a good workers, the whole society, the whole country can be stable, because you're a good worker, just doing your own job, right? But the whole society and the world are keep changing like constantly in the future. Think about like for like huge event, huge period back to 100 years. So the internet took like 20 years to really develop, and the phone took like laptop, the phone took like 10 to 15 years. AI took like one night to develop AI. But in the future, with the AI, there's more and more those like called black swan things that happen.
Yes.
More and more black swan things that happen
Yes.
in the future. So they need something. Everyone are required to understand about like entrepreneurship. So whatever the things that happens, they can be super stable and doing their own things. Whatever the outside are happening, whatever the world's changing, they're super stable, just doing something they're passionate about, and they can make the money to live. They can raise a family, whatever. But like, I think there will be much higher demands in the future about entrepreneurship, about how to use AI and entrepreneurship in the future.
And to become a generalist, I think you talk about importance of you actually stress in a way that you said the future belongs to generalist, not specialist.
No. I think it belongs to two.
Belongs to both.
One person is well-rounded person, another is going very deep.
I see.
But like you cannot be like medium deep. Medium deep are easier to be replaced. If you go super deep, it's impossible to replace you.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually got another question on why actually you start that entrepreneurial education back in China, not in US, and is it because from my understanding, the Chinese society, they are less kind of encouraging to take risk and less encouraging in entrepreneurial like doing startups, and basically also people are a little bit more conservative in this extent. Well, why do you decide to do that in China instead of here? Maybe people are more open to.
That's a really good question. A lot of people like are trying to convince me doing things in the US, which I'm gonna do in the future. But why choose Chinese market first? Because I know that market really well. I know that market, what they are experiencing and what they are facing right now. And also I have more resources, like distribution channels in China. That's the most important thing about distribution channels. Distribution channel in the future is everything. You will have, because the product gonna be all over the place. As I said, it will be also.
You think it's easy with AI right now?
It's easier with AI to have all the product and services, and whatever your product, how good your product is, you still need to have a super good distribution channels.
Yeah, definitely.
So in China, I have a couple of really good distribution channels, and they understand about my vision, and they do believe my vision. And as I said, like I think if we have a lot of American audiences, but like as I said, like don't really underestimate like the power and about like Chinese students, and don't underestimate it about like how much they can take the risk and how smart they are. So basically, I think for the Asian kids, they have a super solid science, math, and the language. The foundation is super good. The thing they're lacking of for now is the free will and entrepreneurship thinking, thinking outside the box, because they're so focused on study one or two subjects. They don't have the time to explore other things. Once they open a small door for them to explore about things, they're gonna go crazy, because they have so many things inside the stomach. They can use they have so many skills. They have so much thinking inside of one person. We just need to open a small door for them to leverage about what they have, their knowledge they have. So I strongly believe the Chinese market. I strongly believe the whole Asian market in the future.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about the importance of building out like a supply chain, figuring and understanding more about the supply chain, I think you actually mentioned that your first entrepreneurial attempt back in your your high school kind of helped you understand more about supply chain, and so it's more like a loop, right?
Yeah. I think it's everything connected. You just mentioned compounding effects. That's everything's connected. So, like the things I was doing, I didn't realize that was like supply chain. Didn't realize that was supply or demand. I didn't know that was like entrepreneurship experience. I didn't know that was my first business. The time I started, I didn't know. After 5 years, I look back, that was the first time I started business, right? That just it's like the things you were doing, you didn't realize, but there'll be a compounding effect in the future. I didn't understand about supply chain at all, but once I understand the concept of supply chain, back to my business school in Michigan, I was like, oh, that was the supply chain I studied.
Yeah, and I do remember there was a quote from Steve Jobs many years ago in the Stanford graduation ceremony mentioning that you can only connect the dots when you're looking back.
Yeah.
You don't know what actually going to happen in the future, but one day you will say, oh, actually, that all makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Hacker Dojo. I think you're right now sitting on the advisor role at Hacker Dojo, right? And you're actually helping them with their first cohort of accelerator program.
Yeah. So we're creating my visionary accelerator programs inside Hacker Dojo right now. So why I'm choosing Hacker Dojo is because I think the place is fascinating, and you guys can join next week. You will understand about it. So basically, that was a very community-based, like a local-based founders. They are not like the talents, those like genius, like what Sakuya, SCTZ, and YC are looking for. They're not genius, but they are very pure. They are very hardworking. They are super hardworking people. They only have everything in their minds doing business good. They don't have much noises. They only have one signal on what they are doing. That's really make me a little bit emotional to see them what they are doing. It's like they be so focused on one thing.
So a lot of your business partner came and went, right? I think you mentioned like 30 you Mitch joined, but then you're the only one that stayed.
Yeah.
I just wondering, what did that teach you about reading people from early on, and especially about picking the right partners?
Wow, that helped me so much. That actually helped me so much. After the years, I see like the partners join and go, right? I realized, so I think the entrepreneurship, like the founders, are pretty like selective by the market, not by anyone, by the market. So the market fluctuating every day. The market change every day. The people are changed every day. So once some people, once they see like the downside of the market, they will be afraid of the market, be scared of the market. They'll be scared of like there's no stability of their life, and they want to have a super stable life, stable salary, everything, right? So they will step outside of they'll step out of the entrepreneurship. And another thing, I think the entrepreneurship is super hard. Most of people, they don't have enough time for them,
right.
And they don't have enough courage for them,
right.
to really lock in one thing for a long time.
Right.
As I mentioned, it's like entrepreneurship, to make money by entrepreneurship is like this, and then exponential growth. But beginning 2 to 3 years, extremely hard. It's extremely hard to make the first 100K. So at that time, I see people join, come and go. I realized something. It's like entrepreneurship is a selective thing. Only certain type of people with those like heart, with those characters, they can survive inside the entrepreneurship. I don't think everyone should become entrepreneurship, but I do think everyone need to have the entrepreneurship mindsets in the future. Even if you're joining like big corporates, and you still need to have the entrepreneurial mindset. So coming back to like the how you asked me reading people, right?
Yeah.
I think it helped me so much with the entrepreneurship. I just create those like gut feeling with the people. Certain people I can trust. Certain people I will work with. Certain people, I think that person might keep doing for a little bit long time. Right. That person gonna quit on the road after 6 months. I just have this ability to read certain founders. And also because I'm doing OMNIAPATH and doing Hacker Dojo accelerators, I saw so many founders. I just can tell if that founder have the character to.
So those turn out to be accurate predictions, or
not like completely accurate, but I just have my own philosophy, gut feeling, thinking about this because I do experience, right? I do experience I think I work closely with 40 people in total inside my 2 companies. And really closely, just one-on-one closely, 40 people. Come and go. Mainly because we don't have enough money to support them keep going, which is impossible as a startup to pay so many people, right?
Yeah.
And I think I work with right now, I closely work with over 300 students, one-on-one, work over 300 students to see their entrepreneurship journey and their college life journey. And also I I work with a lot of adults and VCs. They help me so much about you reading people and understanding about people. Yeah, so I think they just help me so much with a partner come and go.
Appreciate it. I think we can wrap up this episode with a final question, which is actually the audiences of our channel. We target them to be kind of student founders or early stage young founders. Do you have any advice for them, like who may be feeling uncertain, maybe lacking the courage, whether they should make the step to do their own entrepreneurship?
Make the first step, which is what you're writing about,
Yeah,
right?
I think,
what would you say to them? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also writing a book about to have your first step into the entrepreneurship. So I think there will be two things you're looking for when you started your first business. The first thing is you're passionate about for years, and the second thing is you're good at this. If you are passionate about, you're not good at it, you're not gonna do it good. If you are really good at it, but you don't like it, you're not gonna do that good too. So find one thing, have this overlap between what you like and what you can do really, really good. So once you find that things, just don't worry about money, just don't worry about what people are saying. Do as much as good as possible for years. But I think you have to that thing have to be like a positive thing for the society, not like a dark market, you know.
Do you think we're doing a good job in being a host?
I think so. And you guys really passionate. You're driving. You guys were driving from LA to.
Yeah.
I'm actually driving to LA today.
Oh.
No. Oh, you are
Yeah,
today?
I'm
You're driving
today.
back to LA?
I was driving LA to just chill out for 2 days and come back.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so I think you guys have the courage to really step out the first step. This is your first venture, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you guys are good at it. Just keep doing this at least for a year or two.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Appreciate it.
I mean, if you're doing this for over 10 years, you still have 100 followers. Just give it up.
Oh, that's not gonna do good.
You guys are not good at it, but if you're doing 1 year, you have 10,000 followers. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic, right? I think just find the overlap of what you're good at and what you're passionate about it. Just lock in for at least 2 or 3 years.
Thank you so much, Barry. Thank you so much, Dave, for your time. That would be a wrap up of our session today.
And for one last sentence, can you share a little bit more about the events that's going to happening in Hacker Dojo so we can spread the word?
Next week, right? Or
next week, Saturday, from 12 to 3 p.m. So basically, it's like 2 hours demo day. I will have a judge, investor coming. So we have 20 first-time founders, and they're very community, local Silicon Valley founders. They're not like a super genius. They're not like super talented. Those like 16, 17 years old like genius kids, but they have a passion and they don't have much noise. Everything's a signal. Their life is one signal.
Yes.
Simple life, pure life.
Yes.
Just wanna make their dream come true. So please come to support them, and I'll be there for the little bit moderator. I will be there for the as one of the judges.
awesome.
Please come. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll drop a link and stay tuned for our next updates at 18VC podcast as well as at next update for Hacker Dojo.